Welcome to Gingerbread Podcast, Season 2. So today we're going to be doing a quick rundown of what to expect during this season. So my name is Vicky Joseph, and same old, I'm joined by Walter Bono. Walter.
Hey, I'm so happy to be that we finally got from the unstructured to finally structure. It feels like now we're slightly progressing, and Gingerbread is actually pushing. Yeah. Anyway, my name is Walter. I am Vicky's co-host as well as always.
All right. And then also, maybe you want to give the viewers what to expect during this new season. You're going to be handling the finance part of the podcast. So maybe a quick rundown of what to expect on the finance element of the podcast.
Okay. This in this season, I think we'll still be tackling similar issues, right? We're gonna look at things like black tax. We're gonna look at insurance. We're going to look at prime lending rates, loans, and really how to navigate your life as a young professional between in your 20s all the way to your early 40s, I think. Yeah.
All right. So, guys, today we have a new host, the bold, the beautiful Mutheo Bolele. Mutheo, please introduce yourself and what you're going to be bringing to the podcast this season.
Thanks, Vicky. Thanks, Walter. Hi, my name is Mathao Bolele, and this season I will be coming with a show mainly targeted around economics. Not only what the bigger picture is, but how it affects us, and tips and tricks from industry professionals that will help us as the youth navigate. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Mutheo. So for today, we're going to be starting first with the finance part of the podcast, right? Remember that it's a quick rundown of what to expect this season. So we're just going to be briefly touching on topics that we aim, or it's a sample of how the podcast is going to progress as time passes.
Yeah.
So now starting first with finance issues. So let's talk about emergency funds. A lot of times I hear people saying that an emergency fund has to be 6 months worth of your current basic salary. So basically, if you earn 10K, your emergency fund should have 60K. If you earn 20K, your emergency fund should have like 120K, right? Am I having the most right there?
Well, if you okay, yeah, sure.
All right, 6 times 20 is one. Is it 120?
Yeah.
It's 120. So now, is this really realistic or it's very imaginative? Is it possible to have 6 months worth of your salary and your emergency fund? Is it possible? Is it doable? What are your thoughts, Matteo?
I think it's 6 months worth of expenses, right? So if you were to lose your job today, can you still pay rent, school fees, insurance, etc.? So if you're earning 10K and expenses are half of your salary, then you should have 6 months of expenses. It takes a long time, but I think we could save it.
All right, and then Walter, what are your thoughts?
I think it's an ideal situation, right? It's one of those that you can say everybody should be saving 10% of their own salary. It's an ideal situation, but is it possible for everyone to actually commit and execute it? No, it's not. Looking at let's say you earn 10K, right? And you get taxed on that 10K, assuming that 10K is about your basic salary. Okay. You get taxed on it. Your take home would be around 9 point something, right? With your take home being 9 point something, you have monthly expenses, right? For you to be able to raise that 60K, you know how long it's gonna take?
Exactly.
Assuming that, because now it contradicts with the whole thing of saying we're gonna save 10%, right? Because if I'm saving 10% every month, right, without fee, that'll be about 900 pula to around 1,000, right? So for me to actually accumulate 60,000 pula now, that's 60 months. That's really not
exactly.
Yeah, that's the most. It's difficult. Yeah. So the ideal situation, so that you don't basically the whole thing. I think the whole concept behind it is save, and so that you're not entirely stranded, but have something to rely on if at all things go sideways, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that is very
But
true.
guys, how are you guys saving for this rainy day fund? Because every time I save for a rainy day, it keeps raining. Like every single month it's raining. I am the fridge broke. I need to. Next month there's something. Next month a family member passes away, and now I have to chip in for the funeral. How are you guys actually managing to save the money?
I think you can have some sort of like, what are these things of having, what do you think banks call it? Standing orders or what, right? Those could be like a standard fee that hella, as soon as your thingy, your salary hits your account, they just deduct instantly.
Like a debit order?
Yes, a debit order. So they have to deduct consistently. That way, now you just have to reduce your expenses, your your drinking expenses, your entertainment. You have to even reduce your entertainment. You don't pay for Netflix this month because your uncle passed on. It's fine. Yeah.
But you know what my thing is with saving like that, where maybe it's like a very fixed account where you can't even access your money. My problem with that is that I know people like that.
Yeah.
Where you have 50 for like a 50K car.
Yeah.
So in 1 year, you would have popped out 2.5K.
Yeah.
But let's say no third party car is even involved. Your own car is crashed. Are you telling me you can fix your car with 2.5? Can you go for panel beating with 2.5?
But you know what?
No, that, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. A very affordable option that I'm looking at is just third party cover. So not even my 50K car.
Oh, okay.
Not even my 50K car, but I think it's Alpha Direct. You pay 50 per month for third party insurance. So now I crashed that BMW. They will pay, well, I guess, most of the money to fix it.
Wait.
Yeah.
50 pula.
50
So you
pula
can just
for
enroll
third-party
and just
cover.
keep consistently start paying 50 pula.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, interesting. Anywho, yeah, let's go back to you.
All right, and then also...
Wait, Vicky, do you have car insurance?
I do. That's the first thing I did when I bought my car. So cheap. My car was very cheap, but I was like, I cannot afford other people's cars.
So over the time, did the premiums change? Or you start sort of
Don't they value
consistent?
it every year and then decide on the premium from that?
I think Mohoritani cars, they don't value them much because I don't think it's worth it. But what I can say is that when you go for an insurance, I actually ended up changing an insurance policy because when you go for an insurance, please research on it. Don't just go for the cheapest one.
Okay.
There are some of them that will collect your money. When it comes to paying out, you're never going to get the payout. So always doing like a background check first to
Have
see
you
what
ever-
other people feel about that insurance.
Have you ever gotten a payout?
I've never been in an accident, so yeah.
Okay.
Safe driver things.
Alright, valid. Or you just
Anyway, moving on to our next topic. So initially we're talking about, not initially, but midway conversation, we're talking about life covers, right?
yeah.
So now it leads me to the next question of pension versus gratuity. And by the way, to close off that other conversation, I'd like to say that life covers are very important for young people because a lot of us don't have enough pension for sustenance of our loved ones, our families that depend on us in the case that we die.
Yeah.
So a life cover is the best way to instantly insure them in the case of your death. They can be taken care of because your pension probably has like 5K. And a lot of us, when you switch jobs, you get your pension and then you start from scratch and you get to the new job. But anyway, moving on to the next topic, I want us to talk about pension versus gratuity. The reason why it's a topic that I want to talk about is because I'm thinking, remember that I don't believe in long-term things.
Yeah.
Wait, can you
Commitment
explain what
issues.
gratuity is?
Oh, okay. Let me explain what gratuity is. So gratuity is a situation whereby, let's say you're working for a company, you're on a contract, right? So if you finish up that contract, you're 5 years, you're going to get a certain portion of your salary that's been accumulated monthly at the end of the 5 years. So it's more like severance, but severance, you're in house ahead a gratuity, you get your severance. So if it's either you get severance or gratuity.
Gratuity.
But gratuity is at a higher rate.
Yeah. It's usually between 20-30%, depending
Yes.
on the contract.
But severance is
Yeah.
your daily rate. So
Yes.
gratuity is usually a higher rate than severance. I think it's to reward you for long service.
Yeah.
But then if you leave before your contract lapses, you get severance, right?
I think
And then pension is pension.
Yeah.
It's also a percentage of your salary.
Yeah.
Your employer can agree on 10% wa gagwe ba isa to a pension fund, or it's 5%. You can also have a core payment to the company, something like that. But then all of them, what is the word? They're mutually exclusive.
yeah.
You can only get one. You can't get pension and severance and gratuity. It's either you get severance, or you get gratuity, or you get pension.
Yeah.
So now, looking at companies now, most of us are on contracts. It's never permanent and pensionable. So now I want to know, is it better to get pension or gratuity? Because for me, I don't believe in pension. Like I'm saying, I'm not waiting for 65 to get money. I'd rather get maybe... I'd rather get my money, maybe let's say in 5 years' time, I have like a lot of money, I can start up something because I also believe in diversifying what I can do. So I can invest in something and then maybe it gives me more money and things like that, you know? So I don't know, what are your thoughts? Pension versus gratuity. We can start with you, Matteo.
Well, I mean, like, when you get the job offer, they're the ones deciding if it's going to be a permanent job or a
Yes.
contract.
So, yes.
So it's not like I really have a choice. But if I had a preference, yo guys, I don't know. The thing is, like, I'm not going to be responsible with that lump sum. I know myself. I'm gonna blow it. No, I'm serious.
Okay, no,
But,
thank you for your honesty.
Okay.
No, but I haven't thought about it so much. Lump sum, is it like 50,000 maybe?
It depends on how much
No,
you
it
earn.
depends on how
Yes.
much you earn. It's based on how much you earn, really.
So if it was like 50,000
Yeah.
after 3 years of service,
Yeah.
okay, what am I really going to do with 50,000, guys? Am I going to invest in a business?
What do you want?
Am I going to pay off loans? Am I going to? Because now my actual thing is, I'd rather have a permanent and pensionable job. So if I want to take a loan, I can take a 10-year loan. But now if I'm in a 3-year contract and I go to the bank and I want a loan, they're only going to give me for the duration of the contract.
But-
That's my issue.
Okay,
Now I
but
can't get mortgage on a 3-year loan.
Oh, so I get your angle. So your angle is that pension and pensionable can help you save as other things. Like if
Yeah,
you want to buy
long-term.
long-term things. But then if you're on a contract, it means that your loans and everything are restricted to 3 years or 5 years or whatever.
yeah, but you can still get a mortgage while you're on a contract. No,
Is it?
people have mortgages.
Do you know whether they're on
People have
contracts or
mortgages.
whether?
Okay, I don't know if they're on contracts, but I want to believe it's really much possible. I want to believe it's really much possible for a mortgage. I think it'll depend on like they will look at multiple
I think those
factors.
are like micro lenders. I don't think it's like FNB.
No. I'm saying no mortgage. You get it from a bank. Yes, you get a mortgage from a bank. You can't get it elsewhere. So it's a long-term payment. It's a bond. It's a house loan.
Okay, but as a bank, why would I give you a mortgage 30 years if you're going to be unemployed next year?
No, we're not saying you're going to be unemployed. Let's say I'm a doctor. I work in a private practice. Are you not going to give me a loan because I have a 3-year contract?
That's what happens though, because I remember there was a time I was trying to get a loan. I was on a 3-year contract.
They
I was left with 2 years. So
Yeah.
they were saying that they can't borrow me money.
for past
Longer
that.
than the 2
Yes,
years.
longer than the 2 years. It has to be something I can repay within the 2 years, and they look at my terminal benefits as well.
But in terms of a mortgage now, it's secured by the house. So they can if you can't pay, they take the house, right?
Okay, that's
they
quite
take the
interesting.
difference of what you have already paid. They take the house and auction the
Yeah.
difference, right?
Wow.
Yeah, so you can still get a mortgage, right? But yeah, you would have to check. You would have to check with your bank and banker and all that. But I believe you
So
can still get a
basically,
mortgage.
this is an opportunity for a bank to contact us and come teach us on mortgages and the requirements. Can you get a mortgage if you're on a contract?
Yes.
Banks, holla.
All right.
All right, concluding. What are you saying,
Yeah.
Walter?
So I was still saying we're talking about the whole gratuity thing, right? If you have a lump sum coming through, one, let's say you already have a mortgage or you already have a car loan, you can pay that lump sum towards the car loan or whatever, and then obviously it reduce the whole amount, right? And when it reduces the whole amount, the whole amortization thing, it reduces the interest,
Yeah,
and
true
then you're
that,
good to go. So if you can either invest. If you're not everyone is going to invest. We're not gonna say no. Everybody invest to start a business. Not everyone is going to do that. There are people who just like working and having day jobs and having permanent situations. And in situations like that, taking your gratuity or your severance, paying it towards this thing will be ideal.
But I have a friend that's on a contract. It's a 3-year contract, and my friend's in IT. So she feels that she is good with gratuity because every 3 years she does something with her money.
Exactly.
She's like, she doesn't need to take the loan because after 3 years she can buy a car, and then after another 3 years she can buy this, and then after 3 years she can buy land, and then after 3 years she can build on the land. That's
Wow.
how she feels. She doesn't want to take the loan anyways.
Okay. So you have to have a plan for that money.
Yes.
She has
got
a
that
plan
one,
for
Maka,
the
Zahel.
money.
Hey.
Because she's being in IT, she knows that she will get rehired. They will give her another contract.
Oh.
Yeah, and if it was something like maybe construction where you've now finished building the fields more, then what?
Oh, I get it. I
Are
get
you
it. I
going
get
to
it.
get another contract after that?
Oh, makes sense. Actually, makes sense.
So I think I just want the safety net of income every month for the rest of my life.
No, I
Yeah,
get
that's
it.
what I'm saying. There are people who like that, and it's a very comfortable thing, right? Yeah, continue.
What do you think?
All right. My thoughts are gratuity. You know me. Short term.
Money.
I believe in gratuity. And then also, I think one thing that I wanted to run past you guys is that, is it an okay question to ask at the interview? Because you guys have been talking a lot about credits, to ask, do you have a scheme with the bank? Because you can
Yeah.
leave a job that actually has a scheme with the bank, and then you go where there is no scheme with the bank, and then now the cost of borrowing is higher than when you're at your previous job. And that incremental money that you're going to get at the new job is actually now being absorbed.
Bye.
It might not be 50-50, but it's now being absorbed by those higher interest rates when you're trying to get debt. So are those questions that, is it okay to ask such a question at a money fixated somewhere? And then you go and borrow someone else's money because you're having an emergency. Yet you have an account, you have money. Now you are borrowing money from another person. You know what I mean? So I don't understand fixing your money like that.
Okay,
So what are your thoughts on that? Because I don't
get
like
it.
fixing money like that, and then now I have to borrow money from you, inconveniencing you. Now you can't
Okay.
even take my calls because you think I'm trying to borrow money all the time.
It only makes for me from my from my
Everyone.
no, but for my argument is that it only makes sense when you're borrowing from an institution, right? I've seen so many businesses, right? They would have about, let's say, 2 million in a fixed deposit account, but rather than using the money, they just have a fixed deposit account. They just want to really be liquid, right? They'll get a 500K buy a car for the business. They will get a loan. The whole idea behind it is they will be able to to pay the interest on a monthly basis, pay the bank on a monthly basis, but still when an opportunity rises that they need to invest, right, they can actually invest. You get me?
Okay.
So not the whole thing of when it's entirely fixed, it can be a problem, but the idea behind it, I think, is so that one can be super liquid throughout the month. So that has always been a thing. Quick one. I actually heard I was having a conversation with a colleague. So she told me that she had a friend, right? A colleague not a friend per se, but another colleague, former colleague from the previous job. So what happened was this person, she saved half of her salary for 3 years to buy a local car. Half of her salary for 3 years to buy a local car. What do you think? Do you think she should have gotten a loan, or she did a right decision of saving almost half of her salary every month, right, to get a local car?
Right, Mantha, you go first on your thoughts on that.
Yeah.
Don't out me. I don't know, guys. 3 years is a long time. Because the question is, if she was to take a loan, how long would the loan have been? Like 5 years?
5 to 6, yeah. 7, depending on the loan.
Yeah, but now for those 3 years, what? But like, had she taken out the loan at the beginning of the 3 years, right? Yes, she's still sacrificing money every month, but at least she has a car.
Right,
That's
no,
what
I
I
get
think.
your point. I get your point.
Instead of struggling for 3 years and not have, she would have had a car and still sacrificed.
I think the idea behind it was a delayed gratification. I think it was like a strong. She has discipline. That's the discipline that I aspire for. I'm not sure about how I align with the whole idea, but I aspire for like delayed gratification because I see personally because I like I'm buying, but that's another topic. Yeah, what are your thoughts, Vicky?
Well, my thoughts are that I live in the now.
Yeah.
I feel like 3 years is a long time. For example, I'm going to give a different example, different from the local car example.
Yeah.
To be honest, I would never save 12 months for a December holiday. I would never do that. December is too far. So I don't believe in those things. I believe in the now. The only trips I can afford are trips that I can plan 2 months. It gets September. If I have to wait 12 months to go for holiday in December and I'm suffering the whole year, then I don't afford that thing. So I don't believe in saving for 3 years. That is not possible for me. I don't afford this car now. There will come a time when I afford it.
But how much can you really save in 2 months? After 2 months, La Francis town. Because when people are saving for December, they're saving for Cape Town. They're saving for that 10 to 15,000.
You know my problem is
in December. Where are you going every 2 months?
it's going to be 4 days and you're saving for the whole year. So I feel like for me, it's not worth it. I would rather go to maybe, let's say, Joburg and the trip is like around 4K or 5K or something, depending on how you plan around things. So for me, that's what I prefer than waiting the whole year, suffering the whole year, saving your 2K the whole year just to go on holiday in December. So that's why I'm saying that I don't believe in those things. So that's how I determine if I can afford something or not, or if it's worth saving for or not. So I'm not saving 3 years. That one is not happening.
But like on this budget, on this salary, let's say every 2 months you can only afford to go to Joburg. Now when you want to go to Bali and Singapore and France, you're going to wait till you're 45. Now every 2 months you can afford France.
I was about to say the same thing.
So now, this now brings me to to the near ending of this topic for me. So for me, when it comes to emergency funds, I don't believe in having a 6 months emergency fund. What I believe in, I feel like saving does not change the fact that you're not making enough money. Yes. What I believe in is diversifying my skill sets so that in the case that maybe I get retrenched, I know that I can do something else. You know what I mean? Because saving has no end. When do you stop saving? Like, I don't see where it starts and where it stops. I can just have maybe a small savings account, but the best thing to do for me, I feel like it's diversification of my skill sets, knowing that if I'm not working here, then I can do 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, but emergency funds aren't only for if you get retrenched. It's for when you have an emergency. So, for example, you're still employed, and then they break into your house. First, you have to replace the gate, get 5,000. You have to replace the motor, get 5,000. You have to replace whatever the TV was, 10,000. Like, that's what the emergency fund does. It helps you in the emergency.
But that's where insurance comes in, no?
Exactly, that's what I wanted to say.
That's why you need to insure.
That's why you need to insure, so that you don't have like huge emergencies that you need to have saved 100K for a car.
I was like, I need to now figure out how to insure things. You need to get insurance. You need to get insurance. For things like that, you need to get insurance.
Because for me, you can't save for everything. So, but by the way, I got your thoughts and thank you for that. But for me, that's how I see things. I don't believe in savings. I believe in making sure that you have money coming and you try to be very versatile in terms of your skill sets. And then also saving is important, but also have better ways of saving. For example, insurances. We'll get to that topic later.
All right.
Yeah. Everybody who's watching today, I think if you can drop in the comments what you think about emergency funds. And if you actually manage to save, and how much do you save from your salary, from your allowance, or from your pocket money?
Yeah, that is very true. So now, you spoke about a very important thing, that is insurance. So I'm going to be giving you information regarding insurance from a very reliable source. So it says, in Botswana, life insurance is the most common type of insurance based on premium volumes. So basically, out of all the insurances, there's medical, there's car insurance, there is funeral as well. So the most common type of insurance is life insurance. So why do you think that is the most common type of insurance in Botswana?
Why?
Yeah, why? As opposed to car, because car is even the one you feel maybe people should be going for the most because you are traveling all the time. Your car can get damaged anytime.
I think it trickles down to like our next topic of like black tax, right? If I do a life cover, right, I'd have my dependents, right? The people that I'm usually taking care of.
Okay.
So I want a situation, I'm saying it from a personal view, right? I want a situation whereby if I pass on, those people that I was trying to take care of, those people that I was working hard to take care of, that still they could still sustain themselves with the little bit of money they'll be getting from the life cover, right? So if you're working hard for your child, for your wife, right, your mother, your whatever, your parents, you need, that makes sense for you to actually have a life cover so that in the event that you die, they're covered, right? Yeah.
And what are your thoughts, Mata? Why is that the most common type of insurance as opposed to other insurances?
That is the most common. I'm not about your source. Okay. Aside from that, I think also because besides covering your loved ones afterwards, having that lump sum that helps them out.
Yeah.
I think it's so people can pay off their debts, right? So right now you might have a mortgage, you might have a car loan, you might have an educational loan, so that when you pass away, your dependents aren't stuck with that debt. They don't lose the house that they live in. Yeah. So that life insurance covers the remainder of the loan. Yeah. I think it's for that, so that now your kids aren't homeless because the bank took the house. We're gonna hella more,
Yeah, that
more
is very true.
auctioning,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think that's why Botswana are very like interested in life insurance.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
But for me, I feel like sometimes it's an illusion of generational wealth for your kids after you die, because the monies they talk about there when you're signing up for these things, like it's a lot of money. You pay 400 and then when you die, it's 1 million. Is it not
Yeah.
because of those millions that make people lean in towards those type of insurances? Because when it's medical, they don't promise you any type of money. You're just waiting to get sick. If you don't get sick, with
But this isn't a wish list, it's a promise. They
Mm.
will give you the million.
No, but then again, that million is not going to be the generational wealth we're looking
Oh.
for. It's a couple of millions, right? Let's say now you die at an early age. You have a child. The child is still young. It's 2 million. How long will 2 million sustain the child?
Not a long time.
Exactly.
It's not a long time, yes, but
yeah.
sounds like a lot
So
of
the idea behind it, I don't think it's generational wealth. I think it's just to sustain people. Unless it's like you have, if at all you have like multiple covers. Let's say you have one with this with insurance A, B, C, D. Probably then that's you trying to secure generational what. But hella, in all, I don't think it'll give you generational wealth. I just think it will give some sort of comfort, because 1 million is not a lot of money, guys. It is good money, but it's man too much money. Dog.
Yeah, true. It's around like 1.4
You can
million.
barely buy a house with that million. Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
But then medical aid is equally important. You don't know when you're going to get sick. But because there's no promised money, people don't skew towards medical aid. Why is that so when medical aid is so important? Because a lot of young people don't really care for medical aid. They feel like they never get sick.
I don't know if it's that they don't care or that we don't have the money. Kana, you're telling me about life insurance. Personally, I don't have life insurance. I don't have that 400 per month. I'm not gonna lie. Like, not right now.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
But with medical aid, I prioritize it more because every winter I can flu. You know, something is bound to happen. But with life insurance, I'm like, I can start when I'm 35. Or medical aid is important, but not everybody has not everybody can afford it right now. I think maybe that's why not everybody opts into it. Maybe because they don't have the finances, not because they don't think it's so important.
But my thing is that the same people that don't have medical aid are the same people at Deja Vu every Friday, Saturday. It does not make sense that a bottle of Hennessy is over 500
Okay,
Pula,
okay.
but then you're not paying for medical aid. I don't get it.
I will attend it in a bit.
Okay.
See, this is okay. I for the longest I didn't have medical aid. The reason being, it was a commitment, and I felt like I wasn't earning enough to part ways with that. Obviously, the employer was paying about 50%, and I have to pay another 50%, right? I just felt like it was a bit of a stretch. But the thing is, with that employer, it was optional, right? You can opt out of it. That's why I decided, okay, no, I'm not doing it now, because I know you get sick, which is fine. You are insuring for your health, right? But for the longest, I know that I would get like flu quarterly, right? If I get flu quarterly, I go to to one of these private clinics around Gabs. I go there, I pay about max of 250, right? And then buy medication, let's say probably the equivalent. That's like 500 quarterly. How much is the medical aid per month?
But that's the thing. You know what the issue with medical aid is? It's not, okay, to be honest, I don't think medical aid you're paying for it for flu. You're paying it for serious illnesses.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No,
Or
I
you're
get
gonna be
that.
hospitalized.
I get that. No,
You're not going to be having 100K for sleeping at GPH for 2 weeks.
no, I get
You don't
that.
have it. Even your emergency fund will not be able to finance that.
No, that one I had made peace with the fact that the whole thing behind it was I don't have enough, right? I don't have enough right now. So the best thing that I can do is really try by all means to stay healthy. One, I wasn't paying medical aid, but I paid him consistently. No, because it was all
But
about
that
priority.
helps.
Yes,
That
I had tried. I was like, let me eat healthy. Let me do this. Let me do this. Because I felt like I didn't have enough, right? If you have enough, don't opt out from medical aid.
What is
And
the cheapest medical aid, by the way? Because they usually have schemes, different schemes. What is the lowest one? Isn't it like 400 to between 400 and
I think
500?
around 500. So
So if your employer was paying half, then it's 250.
no. 500 your portion.
Oh, your
Government
portion.
And then when you work for government, they'll definitely pay the full thing.
No, yeah, government. I think government sometimes pays full. I think I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But yeah, that was my argument throughout the whole thing. But it's fine to
But
pay.
the thing with medical aid, right, is that like there's a certain medical aid that I'm not going to mention.
Yeah.
But you pay 10% when you go to the hospital or whatever.
Yeah.
People are like, firstly, I'm paying X amount per month, and then I must go pay 10% again. And then they're a bit reluctant, like, why am I always taking out money?
But I get your point.
If I'm going to take out money at the doctor anyways.
No, but then again, 10%.
I mean,
It's like 50
not-
bucks. It's usually like 50,
Yeah,
between 20 bucks and 50 bucks.
I think you're insured for 90%. That's huge.
It is.
Imagine you're giving birth and you only have to pay 10%. But how does it work with you? You have no, you have more knowledge on the subject.
Like I'm saying,
Yeah.
young people view medical aid as though it's for flu and those small things. Did
Yeah.
you know that when you're pregnant, you need to have been on medical aid for 12 months for you to be able to, I think, access the pregnancy
Yes.
things, medical
Yeah,
aid.
the waiting period. It's
You ha-
9
yes,
months
it's-
with vomit.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So it's a
yeah.
very long time. You
Yeah.
have to go through the waiting period first for you to be able to go and give birth, and they pay for you properly.
Yeah.
So young people view it as people just going for flu and then getting a sick leave, because the real reason you're going to the doctor is not for a flu medication. You
Yeah,
want a
no.
sick leave.
Yeah.
Flu yourself medication, you'll be fine in 4 days.
Yeah.
To be honest, you don't need to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
So medical aid is for real things. You never know when you're gonna get in a car accident and you need to be hospitalized. It's for real things, not the small things. A headache, I need a sick leave. Let me go see the doctor. No. So that's why young people overlook it. And the reason why insurances thrive is that you will never know when your emergency is coming, but then you're paying all the time.
Yeah.
But then when you get to access those benefits, it's something huge. Say, you can't plan for it and go. So now, I feel like young people should change the way they view insurance. It's not for flu, medical insurance. It's for real things. You can get something serious. I don't know how to explain it. But how long you need to go see a specialist. You go to Marina, they tell you to wait up until next year, February.
Yeah.
You know that's what they do.
Yeah, no, I know. I think when I did the whole thing, I was living life on. It was risky. It was not the most ideal way. It's not. It's not the most ideal way. I tell people if you have the option, or you can just opt to do it. Just pay the medical aid. It's fine. Just pay the medical aid. I just decided to go a little bit against it with it, but it was just a personal choice. So yeah.
Very YOLO.
But
This is
yes.
so I can't wait to hear about this in the season.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So hopefully in the next one of the next episodes, we'll have someone from the medical aid companies to come and teach us more on this topic.
Yeah.
And then now moving on to car insurance briefly.
Yeah.
What is your relationship with car insurance, Walter? Do you have a car insurance?
You know.
We've talked about this, Walter.
For me, I have experienced my car getting stolen, getting crashed. It was the most painful thing. I was like, only if I got car insurance. Only right now, I am still trying to get a car insurance. I haven't actually gotten it.
What's stopping
So you're
you?
procrastinating?
I know. I've done that so many times. Like, I'm trying to get right now.
What is trying? Let's hear your efforts.
Okay, I would hit. Okay, let's say I would engage like an agent, right?
Okay.
And then sometimes they're reluctant. Sometimes I don't know what they're really saying. But I just recently saw like that medical aid thingy. You sent me a picture recently. Yeah, I think I'm trying to run with it. I was just trying to sort out papers with my car really before I go to the medical insurance, because I gotta not medical
Car
go
insurance.
to the car insurance, because you have to do the whole valuing thing going on. I think they value it for you, whatever. But I was just sorting out my car papers first.
Okay.
Yeah, then I have to get it because I don't want it to happen to anyone. Getting your car stolen is not fun, guys.
Yeah. Like car insurance is so important. But I was telling somebody that I want to get a car. Yamaha D10. Because, yeah. And then they said, you can't be insuring Pula Yamaha D10. It's like 30,000.
That was my logic at first.
Yeah.
You know what young people don't know about car insurance? If I hit your BMW and I'm in the wrong, I don't have insurance. The BMW is insured, let's say, with one of the big insurance companies. After they fix your car, they're going to come and claim that money from me. That's what happens most of the time. And then I will have like a commitment to obligation to pay that insurance, a 3K every month for probably 5 years.
Yeah.
And that's what young people don't know. It's not about your car. For example,
It's
I'm not
about the car,
insuring
the other
my
cars.
car for me. My car bank can get 300 or 400. But in the case that I hit someone's expensive car, that is where the issue now comes in. You know, so car insurance is very important. So why do you think people don't insure their cars, Mateo?
I
Especially
think,
Mahori people.
You can't say more what it's happening.
No, but to be honest, I think if it's a local car and then it's on car financing, I think you're obligated to have
Selling
insurance.
cars, okay.
Hey.
Because it's like people who don't replace who don't fix phone screens. They're like fixing the car is as much as buying a new car. Right. So now people are thinking every month I'm paying give a guy 600 for
yeah.
and nothing ever happens to my car. But I'd rather keep that 600 on the side for when I do need to fix it. The problem is that we don't keep the 600 on the side.
Hey, some people have that logic that, okay, let me have an emergency fund sort of thing. Let me put away the 600 instead. But you never do that. You never
do
actually
that.
commit.
And then also on top of that, insurance, the cheapest one I think is around 250.
It's commercial. Wow.
Like self-sustainable.
Hey, for
If you
self-sustenance,
can
hell.
sustain yourself, I farmed this much, I had this much mabele in my thing, it can last me for the whole year. Then houses all resale point you. I feel like
better to scale up.
houses all even those who don't have like the business mindset, if they can have enough to just sustain themselves, then the less will be a thingy, will be important.
Hey,
how if the green pepper when I'm not selling, I'm just sustaining
That's a
myself.
proper solution.
Yeah, I'm just sustaining myself. I, as an individual, I'm just sustaining myself and my family. The less you're going to rely on other countries, because throughout the year, you're fine. You only pay for the other things that you might need. But hey, what if we're
There's a guy who never buys vegetables on Facebook. You know the guy, Kennedy Thal.
yeah,
Everything's from his garden.
Exactly.
He never buys vegetables.
And his vegetables didn't look fresh at all.
Die.
Hey, I wonder. So if we can reach that level of sustainability, or level of
You're onto something
really food
there.
security and sustainable, then we can, if the houses are relevant, then there will be those guys who will tap and say, we have a lot of mabele.
Let's export. At my belly.
Hey,
No, my kid at the most. We have a lot of my belly.
mabele, dog. Yeah, if we want to go to Netanya Sogam is this much, you can start exporting.
Yeah, that is very true. That is very true.
Something. Government do something.
Yeah, we need to, and also we need
It's
to be a
a tool.
knowledge-based country and understand.
No, but not
What are we
really
doing?
mobile Arabans, dog.
But are not applying ourselves. I think I don't know how we can do this because the former president tried to do this whole thing, mindset change, but I don't think any mindset has changed.
Yeah, no, the problem
know,
is
it's a
the
real
problem. No, they have the ideology of it all, but they never put it into practice. They say, no, we're going digital. What happened to digital? We've been going digital for
I
years.
think I said top box.
exactly. Right, like that, things like that. Like we've been dealing with.
I can't wait to speak more about this.
Yeah, true.
I have a friend that's on a contract. It's a 3-year contract. And my friend's in IT. So she feels that she is good with gratuity. Because every 3 years she does something with her money.
Exactly.
She's like, she doesn't need to take the loan. Because after 3 years she can buy a car. And then after another 3 years she can buy this. And then after 3 years she can buy land. And then after 3 years she can build on the land. That's
Wow.
how she feels. She doesn't want to take the loan anyways.
Okay, so you have to have a plan for that money.
Yes.
She
got
has
that
a
one,
plan
Maka,
for
to
the
hell.
money.
Hey.
Because she's being in IT, she knows that she will get rehired. They will give her another contract.
Oh.
Yeah, and if it was something like maybe construction where you've now finished building the field more than what?
Oh, I get it. I
Are
get
you
it. I
willing
get
to
it.
get another contract after that?
Oh, makes sense. Actually, makes sense.
So I think I just want the safety net of income every month for the rest of my life.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There are people who like that, and it's a very comfortable thing. Right. Yeah, continue.
What do you think?
All right. My thoughts are gratuity. You know me. Short term.
Money.
I believe in gratuity. And then also, I think one thing that I wanted to run past you guys is it an okay question to ask at the interview? Because you guys have been talking a lot about credits. To ask, do you have a scheme with the bank? Because you can leave a job that actually has a scheme with the bank, and then you go where there's no scheme with the bank, and then now the cost of borrowing is higher than when you're at your previous job. And that incremental money that you're going to get at the new job is actually now being absorbed.
Bye.
It might not be 50-50, but it's now being absorbed by those higher interest rates when you're trying to get debt. So are those questions is it okay to ask such a question?
Like, I can't be shy and then be affected later. I ask.
So those are important things that have to be asked.
I think it's how you ask it, because money and stuff is always sensitive. But
So how do you ask it?
How do you phrase it?
You asked it. Say how you said it. How you're lying to us.
no, I asked in an email.
Oh,
I
okay.
so I didn't ask in an interview. I got the job offer.
And then,
And
you
then
ask-
whilst marinating over the offer, I was like, by the way,
okay.
you guys have a loan scheme.
Oh.
And then they said, oh, yes, we do. Do you have any other questions?
Oh. Okay, so
something
now,
else
so
also.
usually what I do is I haven't asked it because I haven't been in that situation. But usually they'll say, what do you do you have any questions, right? So questions are usually, from my perspective, I've been asking about like learning, like do they sponsor you? Do they, because I've been trying to get people to sponsor me for my MBA. But so what I would do is I would just ask about the other benefits that come with it, to try to understand like how do they cultivate you. But hella, I think it's a good thing to ask before, like during, you just ask, do you have a scheme with it? I think usually there's an HR. And HR is the person who usually handles that. I think when they want you, they will take you. Right? When they feel like you're the right candidate, no matter that you asked, oh, do you guys have a scheme with the bank? And then they say no. So now when the offer comes, you'll make a better informed decision knowing that they have the increment. Will it be able to offset how the rates went up again?
Yeah, true.
And if it offsets, do you get anything? What are the pros and cons? And you decide, make an informed decision. Really,
Yeah, that is very true. That is very true.
Yeah.
But then also, I'd like to add on to your point that I believe maybe it's also better after you get the offer, because to be honest with you, you can't take the human element outside of HR. It's still a human being, and as much as they're meant to be objective, you can't take the human aspect of them. Certain questions might make you look entitled or that you like things. So it's better when you have the offer because they can't revoke it because you asked. So it's better to ask after you have the offer.
okay.
Because they might change the attitude towards you if you like things. Or you
No,
asking
but
kind of things.
I feel like it's an innocent question. It's not like saying asking them how much are you going to pay me. This is the only amount that I want. You're just asking, okay, in terms of human resources, in terms of supporting your staff, do you guys have a scheme with a bank? Easy. I think it's really not that deep. But you
Yeah,
have to
true,
think of it.
true,
Yeah.
true.
It's not like saying, guys, I want a scheme. When can we start a scheme? You're asking, do you have a scheme? They say, no. You're like, okay, thank you. It's fine. If they do, they'll tell, oh no, we have a scheme with this bank and this about this much. Would you like to know more? And then you continue with the conversation.
All right, true, fair point. All right, thank you very much for that.
I'd love to hear somebody from HR give me this answer, actually.
Yes.
Oh, on how they would react.
On how they would react. Would they be like, ish, or rather, they won't ask a lot of questions and make the work difficult for, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's also like a culture fit. Like, how does their personality fit into our company?
Sometimes
Now, if
it's
I'm
not even
changing
about
something and
that.
asking too many questions, then I don't get the job after. That's why I asked after getting the job offer.
Because you know what I'm thinking? Sometimes it's not even about the entity and the culture. It's about me as an individual that I feel like I don't like you now. That's like, you can't take the human element outside of HR. I can just look at you and you're giving the good answers, but there's something that just ticks me off about you.
The first impression.
Hey, the first impression, or this one is going to give us
he
difficulties.
probably has multiple loans.
That's why
Exactly.
Or he probably living beyond his means. That's why he's asking about all these loans.
Exactly.
A panel, when you get interviewed, maybe there'll be like 2 people, so they don't make that decision.
No, but there's always somebody who has more influence than the other person.
Exactly.
So if you get into an interview and you can see the one who has the higher power doesn't like you, you're not going to get that job.
That is so true.
All right, yeah.
But anyway, moving on to the next topic. Assuming you had a job and you get your gratuity, what are the most lucrative business ideas to venture into? It shouldn't just be gratuity. Maybe you just have like money, but now you're trying to venture into something. What is the best thing to venture into? Because one thing that I don't like about Botswana, maybe this might not land right, but the most common idea is how to start a business. Or let's open a car wash.
You always need money.
But that's the thing. Can't we think about more creative ideas? Because I feel like all the time it's Motelo. it's car wash, and then it's food. These three businesses, I feel like I have not done any research, but I can tell you that when people are just sitting together saying they're discussing business ideas, these are the three things they're talking about.
But the thing is, people always need to eat. So many people have cars. People always want to borrow money. Like, it's not that, it's that these ideas will definitely bring in money. Like, they are tried, tested.
They'll give you
can't fail
cash
there.
flow, but
No.
will they make you rich is the question. They'll
Wait,
give you sustenance, but are you going to get rich from a car wash?
It depends on scaling. But yeah, it depends on how you scale it.
Okay.
But hella, I agree with you. Like that boring. I actually went through ChatGPT, not ChatGPT per se, like Meta AI. I was
Okay.
like lucrative business ideas. You know what came up? Like food truck, t-shirt printing, and what else? What else was there? Yeah, I think I forgot. Basically the most generic ones. Yeah, car wash as well was included. I think all of those businesses can make you money.
Okay.
They are solid in terms of cash flow. They're solid, but in terms of scaling, do they need you to be there all the time? Can you have multiple ones that are running without you being there?
Yeah, true
if you're a
that.
car wash owner and you stay at the car wash, then it can be a problem because commit your whole 8-12 hours there, and then so that's where the problem. But if you can scale, your ability to scale will determine if they'll make you rich.
So the ability to strategize around that idea, you have
Yes.
to be able to differentiate. So basically, when you have a business idea, and as much as it's very generic,
Yeah.
be able to differentiate from the next person who has a car wash. Why should people come to you instead of this person? Let's call doing the same thing. is what you're
Because
saying.
once you get that right, you can have multiple car washes. The key, I think, key is having multiple. Look, guys, look at Choppies. It has multiple. Even in the most remote areas, so it's not be tell Choppies.
Yeah, true that.
They're all next to each other. Like, the station. There's that Choppies at the beginning of the station, and then there was another one, like, inside the station.
Scaling. That's how. I think that's
But then how we're addressing the real question here, that are those the only business ideas now we can only think of as young people? So when you get a gratuity to car washing,
No, I think you need to tap into your mind and say, what do I like?
Okay.
What would work for me? Do I have a day job? How does that? How will my business idea affect my day job? What skill set do I have from my job that I can transfer there to my normal my business?
Kind of the other thing is, like, money is so scarce. So if you're going to invest in a business, it's easier to invest in a business that you know will make money. If we're now trying out these new things that people don't understand and we don't know if we're going to get the money back, I think people are maybe a bit scared to venture out because they don't have money to play with.
But even the food, people can decide not to buy from you. It's so easy for people to decide not. No, they don't like this food. They would rather eat from the person next door. It's so evil. I've seen like line a long queue during lunch. Masape what was that? But they invested almost similar amount. But no food. There's no failure. If I put in 5,000, I'm gonna get 10,000. But probably they're not giving that 10,000 because they're not getting the business.
So what would you do? The t-shirt printing?
No.
that's also another thing. Now that we have a podcast, I will print the t-shirt. That is a Botswana thing.
No, but hey, that's the good. I don't even think it's about it's anymore Meta AI. Lucrative business ideas. T-shirt, truck thingy. It was soap, food, car wash. The other one was tutoring online, English, teaching English, dude. All the generic internet ones.
But you know what my thing is with business ideas? My problem is that, first of all, according to me, this is how I synthesize the whole thing of having a lucrative business idea.
Yeah.
Think about the things that you like, right?
Yeah.
And then also, after the things that you like, remember the things that I like are not necessarily what people like.
Yes.
And then also ask yourself, do I have a market for this product? Because I've seen people now forcing us into buying things we don't really want now because they're not support local type of thing.
Yeah.
Well, but how like a product, especially as a pyramid scheme is, you're forcing people to, you're not going to make a lot of money from that because I'll buy it once just to support you.
Yeah.
But I'll not come second time because you have no market for that thing.
Yeah.
People are only buying to support you. So have a product that people can buy without being inclined to buy because they're supporting you.
Because
I think
they're
those are
your
the two key-
friend.
Yes, those are the two key things because you're not going to get repeat business. If I've supported you this month, I can't support you for the whole year. Therefore, it's not lucrative. And then also ask yourself, do I just want to make 2K from this whole thing for the rest of my life? Or I'm trying to have it a real business that makes real money. Those are the key things for me that I try to look at. Because, for example, like if you lot a car wash will not make me quit my job at some point, and then I pursue that. Yeah, you understand?
Yes,
I'm not going to make
yes.
super normal profits from that. I
Yeah.
can have money for other things. I can build an emergency fund.
Yeah.
Right? So, I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I agree with Walter when he said about scalability.
Yeah.
Like having multiple car washes is what will, bring you real money. But also like because you have a job with this gratuity, isn't it just a side hustle? Like you don't mind making 2K and that 2K pays your rent.
No, the idea behind the whole thing is that we want to push to a point where it's okay not to have a job, right? It's okay not to get employed, right? To a point where you are comfortable and, being employed is it's not so nice. It's nice, but it's not so nice. Like you have to work within somebody's timelines. Yes. So the idea behind it, go on a financial freedom, because you can have financial freedom when you work. You can have a lot of money, but you're not really free. You're not really free like that, right? You cannot just decide, oh no, I'm going on a vacation. Hey, Vicky, why rata?
Yeah. Also, I saw a very interesting post on Facebook to talk to your point.
Yeah.
Re tlo go tabogisang ya ka ngwana le primary rules ne le iteka 5 minutes. Ke mohuta man.
Dude.
Like we're living in anxiety because yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, dude.
Right, but anyway, to close up the finance parts of the podcast, we talked about pension versus gratuity. We talked about lucrative business ideas, but I feel like at some point we need to revisit that because I
Yeah.
feel like we did not really give
We need to have an
specific ideas.
episode on that, yeah.
On that. And then also we spoke about emergency funds, and then we also talked about insurance. And then to close off insurance, what do you think people should look out for when choosing an insurance, just to close off the finance elements? Do you think maybe they should carry out some research and ask someone that is insured with a specific company to say, did these people give you a payout? What do you think are the key things there? Because you can insure your car and then you never get a payout. I think that's the sad thing.
Look at the terms and conditions. Because now you're going to say, I have medical insurance. Why are you not covering my pregnancy? Had you looked at the T's and C's, you'd have
Very
seen
true.
that
Very true.
People don't do it.
You just sign.
They don't read.
It's a tick box exercise to say, now I have car insurance done.
We never read. We never read the fine
Exactly.
line. I went through the other.
other.
I went through the policies setting one. I saw got like recoverable natural disaster. I think there was just something else. The recoverable political unrest. Basically,
Exactly.
civil war type thing. They're not covering that. If you die because of a civil war, they are not gonna pay because they know. Let's say it's a civil war, multiple people are going to pay.
Die,
Imagine 100 people die and you have to pay 1 million to the family. So they included that. That's a fine line.
Yeah, true
down
that.
there. So I think you need to read all the terms and conditions.
True. Let's say, for example, if it's a car insurance, there's what is it called? What is it called? Excess.
Yeah.
There's like a 10% of some sort of medical aid that you have to pay. You also have to look at that. So those are the key things you have to look at. But then we'll cover this. Insurance companies, business opportunity. Not even business opportunity. It's an opportunity to contact us and come teach us more on car insurances and everything else.
Yeah.
And then now we've wrapped out the finance parts of the podcast. Moving on to economics. This is Motel's baby. So right now, we've recently had the news that the currency has been devalued. So we have our economics specialist who will teach us and give us a brief. What does it mean when a currency has been devalued?
Okay, I'm not a specialist. I just read the news. It's part of my job.
Okay.
We will bring in real economic specialists to have these chats with us so that, don't say Motel said and then it doesn't work. I'm not a specialist. This is a disclaimer. Okay.
All right.
But basically, like, for example, with compared to the rand, the 1 pula is 1 rand 30 cents, right? So we've made the conscious decision to devalue the pula, which means that the pula is worth less now. So now maybe 1 pula is 1 rand 10 cents. So the reason that the government has made this decision is so that Botswana's products are cheaper and countries outside will want to import from us. So now we can do more export. maybe Germany's getting all of their beef from Australia.
Mm-hmm.
But now that our beef is cheaper because of the devaluation, now we are more attractive for imports. And now they'll buy from us. So by exporting more, we have more money coming into the country. You know, we can fix the roads, better healthcare, etc., etc., etc.
Yep.
So that's what's happening. But it has so many impacts.
So now, Walter, I want us to now tie this back to the issue of entrepreneurship and lucrative business ideas.
Yeah.
What are we going to be exporting?
That's the thing. That has always been my argument. We don't have much to export, really.
Why do we not have much? Because the bullet car wash.
We don't have.
export that.
We don't really have much. I don't think as a country really have. Kind of, we're over relying on diamonds, of course. And then our second thing was like beef, right? So beef going in it now. This is our export. This is what we're exporting. And we're importing most of the stuff.
But while we're looking at this on a government level, you as an individual, because I've seen Alibaba, those are actual suppliers. Ken Nalo and I we've put out our things on Alibaba and then they're being exported to other countries. So us as individuals, what are we doing to have exportable items? Because right now, a lot of us young people, our businesses, what are we exporting? Or are we relying on the government solely to just do the exporting type of thing?
No, I think that's now the time when we need
a real
to.
question.
Yeah, that's now the time now when we need to tap in and say, what can we make?
How can we take advantage
How can we take advantage of this and just now look? Because now if we look at India, all right, India the currency is low, right? So even the services they have you can do what you can outsource your accountant from India. It's cheaper. You can't not say you should. It's really cheaper.
Okay.
Your auditing you can really outsource it from that side. It's cheaper. You can buy products from that side. Your IT experts you can get a lot from that side cheaper, right? Because now the currency is lower than Pula. Then they have a better advantage in terms of people getting more. Even countries like America. They get their call center agents from India because mass people low cost. Yeah.
But those are services, right?
Yeah.
When you speak about exporting, you mean like actual.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to it.
Exporting also involves services, doesn't it?
I think.
But I charge the people in dollars if I'm charging Americans.
Huh?
I want to charge them in dollars.
No, you charge them in dollars, but it'll still be relatively lower. This is you still be looking at when you charge them in dollars, right? You still be looking at your market, so it wouldn't be crazy amounts.
Oh, it's the dollar equivalent based on your
sort of it would be sort of like you would be looking at the cost of living here.
So when I look at 4,000, how is going to be cheaper in dollars?
Yes,
Because when you're looking at this is my base.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's how it works. I don't know.
No, what I'm saying. No, what I'm saying is, let's say I only want like for my business or whatever that I'm exporting, I only want 100K Pula.
In Pula.
That's what I want. That's how much I'm charging. In dollars is around 8,000 or so.
So when Pula is devalued, it goes lower even.
It goes lower. So those guys, even if I send it on thingy, I obviously get like I want 100K again. So I'll say, okay, no, around 10,000 USD, right? They will be able to pay it real quick because it's not that deep. It's not a big amount of money to them. Because Nakwano, it makes sense. 100K, solid, right? But for them, it's not a lot. So that's how they
my question is, so when does it end now? Because now you might want to hike up your prices because now the cost of living here is going higher because people are mostly importing. Now shops are getting expensive.
Yes.
Now 100K is no longer enough for you. You have to charge 120K, which now balances out everything. So I don't know when it ends. You're an economy specialist.
That's actually the flip side of the devaluation. Because our currency is lower, when we import like even food from South Africa, it's costing us more.
Yes. So the cost of living is going higher now.
The cost of living is going higher. That's why when you go to certain retailers, they have that little sign that guys, milk is now expensive.
Yeah, I even saw it was a little clip by think the CEO, Choppies, he said they lost over, he said something about 48 million or so. I'm not too sure about the numbers. But those guys, they have payables in different currencies, right? So now the Pula goes down. They still have to pay they still have to pay they still have to pay that dollar. They still have to pay that pound. So now they lost a lot of money. Now looking at on a larger scale, like a business. So it's going to trickle down to us, and it's going to affect us badly.
It is affecting us.
It's going to affect us, but I feel like we need to have a mindset shift of having more lucrative business ideas. This thing can work out for us. I'm just looking at in the accounting sector. A lot of accountants are moving to the UK, meaning that we can provide the services cheaper from here. The reason why they're moving is because we have an adequate skill set here in Botswana.
Yes.
If we could actually maybe strategize the local accounting firms and be able to export that, save something. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because yes, I don't understand the other parts of when you increase that side. Go to hell like when it ends and how it helps.
Yeah.
But we just need to focus on exporting real things. I'm not saying other business ideas are not real things, but we need to have have other ideas, more creative ideas that can actually be sold outside of the country.
But we're not talking about goods, right?
Yeah.
The exporting of goods. What are we now going to start exporting that's going to bring in so much money?
No, but
The thing is, there's 2 million of us. If maybe not other people are kids, other people are old people there. Maybe 1 million of us should have more lucrative business ideas.
We had an excess of diamonds, and we have an excess of cattle, which is why those are like two big things that we
still
export.
have excess
So now
of
I
diamonds.
see that. Yeah, that one is not working.
Yeah, we still have excess of them. Continue.
The diamonds part is not working.
Hey.
But now I see that there are other mines being opened for copper, zinc, etc. So maybe now we're going to focus on exporting that.
Yeah.
There's that hemp production that the government approved. So now we can start exporting that as well. But as individuals, the thing is, we have to have the skill set to start producing goods that are now going to be exported. Unless like people in Namibia are drinking St. Lucia.
But that's the thing. The problem is that the government is even taking us to school for free so that we can have that skill set.
I think
But then
we
we're
have
just
the
waiting to get employed. We don't want to apply our minds.
I think we have the skill set.
We
you know
do.
how many graduates from Buan they're there. We could be thinking exporting a lot of, even if we don't process everything that we grow from here, we could be exporting it.
Yeah, true that.
Yeah, even if we don't process it, we could export the raw materials at least. But I think that just trickles to another issue of land, and that's not something I want to deal with right now. But hella, ideally, we should be able to export more if we let's try to apply ourselves to export more.
We
Find
need to,
ways.
because we have the
We
skill
don't-
set. You
we don't
learn
have an
Pythagoras
opportunity.
theorem.
We don't
You are
have.
learning it for exam. You're not learning how can I apply Pythagoras theorem. Pythagoras. This mic would be standing in a different way. But you know what I'm trying to say. You get the point.
No, another day, keep get the simultaneous equation.
You're not applying yourself. You could use it for something.
As Botswana, I think we need to apply our minds to say, okay, we're exporting cattle, but what else can we do with the cow? Why are we not exporting leather?
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
No, I get you.
We need to say, okay, with these diamonds, what else can we do? Are we just doing necklaces? Why can't we also do
Exactly. You
things?
can have a
But
phone
I
cover
think
your leather or
with the
something. Yeah,
resources
little
that
Oh, no,
we-
but the thing is
with
now,
the resources
they-
that
they-
we already have,
Yeah.
we need to figure out what more we can do.
Okay.
Like what more we can export.
Exactly. You know, if Louis Vuitton was to take maybe cow skin, everyone like LV cow skin,
Yeah,
people are gonna buy it.
Yeah, obviously.
I'm
Louis
telling you,
Vuitton
so we're
is
not
not
creative.
Yeah.
Leave it on if you're watching.
Exactly, Louis Vuitton.
If you're watching
Yeah.
this,
Opportunity.
together.
Yeah, but like all in all, like I think we need to find a way to tap into. But even with the diamonds, we just polish them here and sell them. We don't even do much of them. We just polish them and sell them
What's
as
the
they are.
mining?
The diamonds. We just polish them here.
And they will further process
Yeah,
it
that's
in
what
other
jewelry
countries.
production and stuff.
That
No,
can
not
also
not
work.
jewelry production per se, but just production. We can start either we could make machines, make something out of them, right?
Or even if we have the skills of polishing minerals, we can say, Australia, bring your diamonds here, we'll polish them for you.
Exactly, something.
Oh, but the thing now is we already importing. What's the word? Yeah, importing the skills from again India. All the diamond polishing companies in Botswana, the guys who are leading the whole production, cleaning production, they're Indians.
But that's smart. Why they're not training us so we know how to do it ourselves?
So that they become relevant so that they never reach a point where
And then also we're not interested. We're just going to work. To
yeah, no,
just
no. Obviously,
get a salary.
you're just ticking boxes.
You're
You
just
just
ticking
go to work
boxes.
and you don't learn anything. You're like, you wait for this guy to give you the diamond bar. No, this is the part that you need to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
we
yeah.
need
I think we need to wrap up.
Yeah, we need to wrap up. But then
Yeah.
our last conversation now is that if you're in a position of leadership, how would you diversify the economy to maybe avoid us relying on diamonds and relying on beef and then on maybe the mining sector and beef? What do you do to diversify the economy? Because according to me, right, what I think myself is that what I'll do now, the former president once talked about Mananeo, right? If there were those things, they would actually help diversify the economy, but then people need to be taught how to apply their mind so they can use that money better. We can't all go for chama or when someone needs to be able to scale up and be able to use those things. And then also, there are organizations like BIH. I think they need more popularity. They actually sponsor companies that are into IT, innovation. So those things need to be popular. A lot of young people don't know about these things. We're all looking for jobs, but then we're not taking advantage of these things that are relevant to us. And then also another thing that I'll do is that, like Walter was saying, maybe that whole thing of processing diamonds and maybe making a necklace or something, because we're losing out on that margin. If you're selling your raw material, you're going to sell it at a lower price. But then if you're to even further process it, you're adding the margin that you can gain from that same product, right?
Yeah.
So it's more money.
Yeah,
There
so
are
I think,
companies that are like the whole food chain, like Safala.
Exactly.
Somehow they're the wholesaler, and they're the retailer, and they're the
And gas
shoppers,
stations,
the
gas stations.
Like Safala,
Exactly.
like Safala, I just needs farms now.
so what are they controlling? This entire margin is theirs. They're not
whole
splitting
chain.
it with
They're
anyone.
not splitting it with anyone.
When-
And they've cut out the intermediary. They're making good money.
So what are your thoughts, Walter? How would you diversify the economy if you were in a position of leadership?
I think I'll just reach a point where we say no. The diamonds had that part. Let's give them a break. No, not that. No, let's not bring them into every conversation.
Okay.
Let's not bring them into every conversation. 2, I'll try to work the backlog and land board in terms of farming, giving people farms. I feel like if we could sort of be reach a level of food security, then we'd improve in terms of we'd have to import less. How to reach a level of food security sharp, we'd import less and probably reach no. We're just giving out more farms. Matata, we're gonna make more events. But that's not the point. But
Instead of actually funding, you're creating events.
So 2, I'd look into those things. And even the people who are in charge of giving out the funds, let's say, or those youth funds, I feel like they are so restrictive to a point where if they're saying this is the bracket that they're giving, this is the only giving for services. They are so what's the word?
So myopic on that.
Yes,
On that.
yes, they're so concentrated on one aspect that they're told. If they're told no, this month we're only sponsoring people body food. Ha ke tla ke re nna ke batla di no, ke di pudi hell. We need people people who have that power to give out that money. They should be in a position where they look at the business and say, does this business make sense? Is it lucrative? Will it move? If it does, if it ticks all the boxes, they need to give the person money.
Okay.
Yeah.
Money, I hear you now. We can have money, we can have land, but I think the government was onto something when they had these get them all out of the programs to say people have farms. So many people have farms, but are they actually using them commercially? Is it like a lucrative business? Do people have the skills? Okay, now you're growing green peppers, but do you know how to do the accounting to make sure that you're making a profit? I think the educating people part, because they were like, we'll give you the money after you do the training. And that made sense.
Yes, no, the training, I think it should come in handy, of course. But in terms of other aspects, in terms of, let's say, running the business, there are things that you need to learn. And as much as the government will try to shove it down your throat, there are so many trainings. Well, not training so that
Just
you
to
can
tick a
get the
box.
money. You have to learn as an individual. You have to learn so that it can apply to you, not to tick the box, right?
Now, Walter, you probably half of the people that have farms, but how many of them are using them actually?
Half of the people that I know that have farms, usually they just farm for like, they just do it for consumption. I'm saying if we can reach.
Hey, to wrap
Alright.
up, it's been a lovely show. It's been Finance and Economics with Walter and Mutewa. So, what are your last words in closing?
Tata, I'm just excited to be part of this season.
Alright.
I'm excited to speak to the people we're going to have conversations with.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to learn a little bit more and get these little bits of knowledge that can help us navigate this shift.
All right, and what are you closing with, Walter?
No, I'm actually happy with the setup. I'm happy that we're finally in a better setup. I'm happy
Shout out.
yes. So Vicky will do the shout out. But yeah, I'm happy with everything. So that's all I can say. Like I'm looking forward to this season. I hope that as we progress, we better get better things and do better, get bigger sponsors and all that.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for watching. If you have reached to the end of the show, because a lot of people stop watching by 5 minutes. Thank you so much for watching, and come to the content center if you would like the setup for your podcast as well. Thank you guys for watching. Till next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.